So, dear devotees, let us begin, and I'll begin, and with you all, let us chant our mini Vandanam. Repetition of something good is good. After all, we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra all day, every day, all the time. So we are advised that good things should be repeated. Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratuje Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this week I am back in Europe, so we're all on a similar time zone, and we're happy to be with you. And let us first come to Suresh Krishna's flat in Resigne, and there to the assembled Vaishnavas. This is the Latvia Zoom. So Prabhu, over to you. How can I be of service? And please give us a little devotional news from your side. If you tip the camera down a bit, we'll see more than the top of your head. You look like you're in the water with your head above the water. More.
Еще. Up.
More.
Like this?
Okay, better. At least now I know you're not in a swimming pool with your head above the water. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat. I will speak Russian. Maharaj, да, мы...
Yes, Maharaj. As always, we're gathering with Sarva. Today, Ella is also joining. Very happy with her association. She's inspired to be with us. And of course, we had Arati, and she said Sarva. He's improved his skills on the puja. He has, yes, improved his skills. And truly, it's happening. Today he was doing without his tips and his notes. Very nice for him. It's more and more freely doing it. Hey, Friday. Some Didi has come to our public program. The topic was, what do we really want? Ella came and a few more people came by the advertisement. And Tanushri, she's doing very good in the terms of her education of psychology, which she's using in preaching. But it wasn't really preaching, it was a professional approach to the psychology of humans. And she's very affectionately talking about bhakti. And I was just listening and amazed as she's speaking. And in the end, we had Kirtan. Kirtan was also nice because sometimes it happens, some people come and they're a little bit antagonistic to Kirtan. So we might sing, but it's more of something not too nice. But here, Kirtan was a little more fulfilling. People were singing along. And Prashadam also, this is all Tanushri, she's speaking from the heart. Maybe Ella can share her
То есть
impression.
я могу сказать, что очень хорошо, что
I can say
преданные
that
поддерживают,
it
приезжают
was very
сюда.
nice that devotees are
Потом,
supporting us. They're coming
когда
from
они там
Riga.
как
They're
организатор, когда
they're
приезжают какие-то
usually I'm
спикеры,
alone as the
президенты,
organizer, but
больше
sometimes some
общаются с
speakers
приходом,
are coming
чем если
from the
выступаю я.
far side of Riga and they're helping me.
Огромная благодарность рижским преданным и
Very
Тануши,
big
что
gratitude to the Riga devotees.
Я рада всех вас видеть.
I'm very happy to see everyone. My
Смотрите
impression.
программы и то, что была
Today's
пятница, я пришла
program
туда
and the
со своими близкими
Friday
подругами.
program, I
Меня
came with my
очень
close
зацепило то, что сказала Танушри,
friends.
что у нее есть огромное
Something touched me
преимущество
that
над
Tanushree
другими
said.
психологами том,
She's
что она верующая. То
better
есть она может
compared to other
преподать чуть
psychologists
больше,
is that she
намного
has
больше, чем те
actual
гости,
faith
которые
and she can
думают,
give
что они
more
верующие.
than
Ведь
normal
психология —
psychologists who have
это
no
что-то на
faith.
грани человеческого
Psychology
и
is
божественного.
somewhere
Моя
on
мама
the edge
психолог, и она
of
мне это говорит. То
human
есть это
and the
на
divine.
грани с эзотерикой.
So my
И
mom is
на
something like
прошлой
that.
своей
She's on the edge of
церемонии
something
было 5
esoteric.
женщин из Суреш Прабhu.
And there were
И
5
это
women
было
and
прекрасно
Suresh
тем, что они
Prabhu. And
раскрыли свои сердца.
it was
Мы
amazing because
обсудили
everyone
мужчин
opened their
с
hearts.
хорошей
We
точки зрения.
discussed men
И в
from
конце
a good
все
point of
вышли
view.
просто вдохновленными,
And everyone
подбодренными
left
и хотели снова
satisfied.
идти на
And we
следующую
want to
неделю.
come more
Я
next
благодарю.
week. Very grateful.
А, на какую тему?
Which topic?
Я немножко не по теме могу сказать,
Not
что
very on
просто чуть-чуть
topic.
немножко
I can
с
say that
своего опыта
little
скажу,
bit
что
from my
стараюсь
experience.
соблюдать Экадаши. Это немножко не
Trying
по
to
теме,
follow
просто
Ekadashi,
по
not
Экадаши.
very
И
on the
чувствовать
topic, but
организме
just
огромную
about
какие-то
Ekadashi. I'm
процессы энергетические в
feeling
организме происходят, которые
some lightness in
как-то
my
очищают,
system.
чистят, хорошо
Some
настраивают.
cleansing
И
is going
помогают
on.
при
Very nice.
движении и
And it's
хороший
helping in
опыт
the
движения.
service and in life.
Как бы такой момент. Не смог попасть
I could not
на
come
программу, которая была с
to the
вот, но
program
мне
with
удалось ее
Tanushree, but I had
свести
the
до Даугавпилса, мы с ней
opportunity
немножко пообщались.
to drive her to
Рассказала
Daugavpils, and
полностью, то, что она
we talked a
достаточно
little bit.
продвинута и в
And I can also say
психологии,
she's
и бхакти-йога у нее
quite
тоже вот
quite
развивается, и
advanced in
очень здорово, очень
psychology and
круто.
bhakti
То есть
yoga.
мы
So
прям
that's a very nice
общались до самого
combination.
Даугавпилса, и
We
разные
talked
темы очень
throughout the whole
полезные
journey
смотрели про мужчин,
and
про то,
some
как
nice
они могут
topics. We
могут расти
discussed
в семье,
how men
вот,
can
про
grow
то, как мужчина становится
internally,
более мужественным, да,
how
и
a man can
ну,
become
вот, как развиваются мужские качества в
more
семье.
manly,
Здесь
etc. How
наверное, такая
the
тема, да,
manly
здорово была.
qualities
И она
are
очень
evolved in the
свой пример
family.
тоже жизненный,
And
она
she
очень много
she has her own
очень
life
вдохновительно
experience.
было.
She was sharing that. It
Вот.
was very
Ну,
inspiring
еще
that
дополнительно, может
time.
быть, тоже чуть-чуть не по теме
And
вопрос,
maybe a
могу
little
сказать,
bit
что
extra, I can say that
прохожу первый опыт
I am
пуджи,
going through my
опыт
first
пуджари.
experience
Могу
of
сказать, что с
puja as
каждым
a
разом мне
pujari.
нравится все
And I
больше
can
и
say
больше.
that
Хочется
after
делать
each
именно
time, I want to do it
эффективно,
more, and
качественно,
I'm
самое главное,
more
с
attracted to
любовью,
it.
постоянно, с
More,
любовью.
I want to
Вот.
do
И
it with
очень
more
мне нравится
quality
то, что Шри
and with more
Кришнадаса
love.
есть алтарь дома,
And
есть
I'm very happy
возможность.
that Suresh Krishna
Вот. И
Prabhu
очень
has an
здорово быть
altar at
в
his
кругу
home, and I
семьи.
have this
И
opportunity, and I can
особенно
be
нравится, когда
with my
верующие
friends, with
люди
my
ищут,
family,
смотрят, и
and
хочется что-то их
it's
рассказать.
very
То
nice
есть
that
маленькая публикация есть, чтобы это
some
сделать. Это очень
sincere
здорово. И
seekers
это очень
are
здорово, и
there.
это очень круто. Харе Кришна. Махарадж еще
Hare
по
Krishna.
поводу Экадыши.
Oh, Maharaj, also about
Такой был вопрос,
Ekadashi.
потому что
There
я
was a
пропустил
question
Паран. Сегодня Паран был
because I
10
missed
минут, он был
Paran. It was
Паран
a
на времени
10-minute window
4:32,
in our
4:42.
calendar. It was
Я уже
from
не спал в это время, и я,
4:32 to
ну, когда вот
4:42.
принял омовение, я вышел, я
When
понял,
after I
надо
took a
перестать.
shower and I understood,
Надо,
oh,
надо
okay,
быть,
now
как раз
I
недавно
need to
я
come
читал,
out
что
and I
мне
need
Махарадж
to
говорил,
break this
Ваше,
fast.
это была
And
транскрипция вашей
and
лекции,
this was a
есть
transcript of your lecture,
удивительное
Maharaj.
указание в брошюрке. Там как раз-таки
From some
говорилось о том,
brochure.
что
Guru Maharaj
если
was saying
ты не
that
вышел в
if
Паран, то
if
считай
you did
твои
not
Экадыши, ну,
break fast on
все,
the Paran,
они
then your
выпущены. То же самое,
Ekadashi,
что ты и не
it's
держал
the
Экадыши.
same as if you
И вот я как
haven't
раз-то
fasted
хотел
at
спросить на
all.
эту тему,
And I want to
что
ask about
если
this
так вот
topic.
получается, что по
So
какой-то,
what
ну,
happens
наверное, из-за
if
невнимательности засек время, надо было таймер поставить и
some
понадеяться,
ignorance,
что
maybe I should
повторю,
have put a
молоденько,
timer
как
or a
забыл, и
reminder, or maybe I forgot or some
4:52 я
other
вспомнил об
reason.
этом, ну, я,
And
конечно,
maybe at
вышел,
4:52
ну,
I was
чуть-чуть не
already
позже.
fast asleep and I broke it 10 minutes later. Could you please comment on this moment as well about Ekadashi?
All right. Well, I have the direct experience and chastisement of Srila Bhakti Rakha Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj on this context, and probably this is what you're referring to. Somewhere I've mentioned this before. But one day, long ago when we were young, then our upbringing coming from ISKCON was that you break Ekadashi with grains soon after sunrise. That was the guidance that we had been given. And so once the sun has risen, then soon after sunrise we break fast. And then one day, then we'd come to Srila Guru Maharaj in the morning, and Guru Maharaj graciously talking with us. And then some devotee said, "Oh, Guru Maharaj, we need to break our Ekadashi fast before a certain time." And Guru Maharaj said, "Yes, you go, break your fast." But I stayed behind, and Guru Maharaj said, "You are not going to break fast?" "Oh, Guru Maharaj, I broke fast already this morning. Before coming to see you after sunrise, I already broke fast." And we know that there's a time before we should, there's always a late time, a time where we must break fast before a certain time. And so by breaking fast soon after sunrise, we're sure that we're going to be, or almost sure, we're going to not break fast too late. So that's why I'd taken grains, because that's how we'd been taught. And then Srila Guru Maharaj said, but this paran, this time, there is an early time and a late time, a window of time. And it's not on this occasion sunrise. It is sometime after that. So like you are expressing, then it was, for instance, if we're with Guru Maharaj, then it could have easily been a time like between 7:15 and 7:45, for instance, because we're likely to be, the sun's already well up, but we're likely to be with Guru Maharaj and he's giving some talk. And so they all went, and I told Guru, but I already broke fast. Then Guru Maharaj, he explained how sometimes, and it's actually occasional, that the fast is broken within a window which is after the sunrise. We must wait before breaking fast. So anyhow, then Guru Maharaj explained this, if you don't break fast properly, then it is like you are not following Ekadashi properly, and so your Ekadashi benefit is gone. He didn't actually say benefit, but he said it's like not fasting on the Ekadashi day. So I asked to Guru Maharaj, and I was fully ready. So Guru Maharaj, what should I do? Should I fast for the rest of today? And if Guru Maharaj said yes, I'm happy to do. We're with Guru Maharaj, there's no question. Whatever is his direction, we'll happily do that and accept that we need to fast. And I said, and Guru Maharaj is thinking. And I also said, I can, because I've already taken grain today, I can fast tomorrow instead and do a full fast, or whatever you say, Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj considered. And he said to me, affectionately, he said, no, you continue, but not to miss the Ekadashi breaking fast time in future. So it's not that Srila Guru Maharaj then gave some prayaschitta, this word, you've heard this word many times, I think. Prayaschitta, which is to atone for something wrong that we've done. We've made a mistake, we've done something wrong, but we keep on going in our devotional life. And this way, we will take our mistake as a reminder, a little slap on the wrist, that we must be more attentive. Now that we know that there is this window, sometimes there is this window, which is not just after the sunrise, but a little later when it begins, then we'll give attention. And this matter was the only matter within the whole calendar that Srila Gurudev wanted, that the calculations will be made locally so that we will break fast, whether we're in Riga, whether we're in Siberia, or whether we're in South Africa or anywhere, that we'll break fast according to the astrological proper calculation of breaking the fast. And not only that, that we observe Ekadashi on the correct day that will correspond astrologically, and that we break fast at the correct time, astrologically speaking. So this is our own direct experience. And so we can also say, yes, don't fast all day today, or don't choose another day to fast as an atonement, but take it as a reminder to ourselves to be attentive. And really, as far as I know, I don't think I've broken the fast at the wrong time ever since. And that's 42 years ago or 43 years ago. So, we got a little chastisement from Guru Maharaj, and happily give attention to such things. One thing to note, and I did mention this to Shripad Dandi Maharaj, that the early time for breaking fast, generally for the days after Ekadashi, the Paran times, the early time, so not before, if you note and see, it corresponds with the sunrise time of your particular place. And it used to be that the calendar would only have break fast before 9 a.m., break fast before a certain time. And only when it wasn't the sunrise time as the early time would there be the mention of between 7 a.m. and 7:45 a.m., for instance, like that. Otherwise, our earlier calendars, they all said break fast before 9 a.m. And there may be some mention at the top or at the bottom that breaking fast on Ekadashi means to take grains, preferably prasadam, after sunrise and before the specified time. But now with modern technology and computer calculations, the actual sunrise time is now being included within the calendar, just in case it's cloudy and we don't know what time the sunrise is. But we all know now where, with our little phones and things, if we want to, we can see immediately what is the sunrise time in Riga, in St. Petersburg, in Rezegne, Daugavpils, in the middle of the forest of the retreat center, and whatever it is. We can actually see very precisely to the second. But I can now add that Srila Gurudev didn't say to make adjustments for Janmastami, for Gaurapanima, these days, which is full fast, and then taking grains the next day. He did not ask that those times be adjusted. Those will be adjusted. We'll take Paran after sunrise, sometime fairly soon after sunrise in our local area. And we will follow those days, not according to the technical astrological day where we live, because Janmastami can be a different day from Vrindavan, from India, if you look at the actual stars and the calculation. But rather, Gurudev said, no, we will follow the Navadeep calendar for all the other dates. So it is only Ekadashi which is being considered for this strictness of the breaking fast time. And we're following Ekadashi out of devotion, not that I am going to get something by following Ekadashi. So now I will lose what I was going to get, and I need to do something to get what I missed out on. This is more or less a karma kanda view of Ekadashi, which Gurudev and Guru Maharaj did not want us to have, the karma kanda view. And hence, we don't chant the a song which is sung in many temples, which is, with every step circumambulating Tulsi Devi, our sins are destroyed up to the killing of a Brahmana. We don't chant like this because we are not here to develop the mentality that Tulsi is there as our servant to clean us. Rather, we are here to serve Tulsi and to chant her glories. And her glories are that she can give bhakti. We are not concerned in focusing on our karma and result of our sins, etc. We will take responsibility for that ourselves. And as Krishna will arrange, he knows everything. And Krishna also knows that he promised, if you surrender to him, don't worry about any of your past. So our surrendering process is an everyday matter. It's not, yes, once I surrendered. So we make a mistake today, we learn from that. And as we feel a little bad, as you already expressed from your heart, you feel a bit bad that you didn't break the fast in the right time, then that's helping us to be good, not to be bad. Again, even though it's a mistake, it's not a deliberate thing. And we've seen directly Gurudev disappointed and clearly telling the devotee. One time, a devotee was traveling with his wife and children, household devotee, traveling with his wife and children and coming to Navadip. Actually, this was in Calcutta in our Dum Dum Park temple. And the devotee arrived with his wife and children. They're all very happy to come to Gurudev. And it was the Ekadashi day. And they arrived at maybe noon. I mean, sometime in the daytime, it was a sensible time to arrive. They arrived at noon, and then, or before noon, it must have been before noon, because, you know, Gurudev is always very hospitable, makes everybody welcome. And if somebody comes to see him and they just arrived, normally he will, or often he will say, oh, arrange for his assistant for a glass of water and some sweets or biscuits or something, that someone's come a long way, they've been traveling on a flight, they've arrived. So give them a seat, give them something to eat. And Gurudev said, oh, I can't offer you any biscuits today, or the sweets, whatever we have, because they have grains in today's Ekadashi. And that devotee said, oh, Gurudev, we were flying today, and so, you know, much difficulty on the journey to follow Ekadashi. So we didn't follow Ekadashi today because of the journey. Gurudev immediately was quite serious. And of course, not, you are very bad like this, not this kind of mean chastisement, but he was serious and said, no, you must follow Ekadashi. That you're traveling in an aeroplane is not a factor. You would follow Ekadashi. And so we have seen in repeated occasions that Gurudev gave stress to Ekadashi. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Kirtan, he specifically says that the following of the special days like Ekadashi and Janmastami, these are like the mother of devotion. And we need all the help in our devotion that we can get. And this is all part of the following of Ekadashi. Is now we know clearly is the breaking of fast at the right time and being sincere on the Ekadashi days. Simple food and extra service to Krishna. And by the way, this last Ekadashi, we can understand who's coming from an ISKCON background and who's coming from our background. Because those coming from the ISKCON background say, oh, today's Nirjala Ekadashi, going to fast all day because this way, if I made any mistake throughout the year, then all my wrongs have been righted, in following Ekadashi. That was not Gurudev and Guru Maharaj's conception. That was for Bhima, and he's an exception. You and I, we are not Bhima. We can fast. We don't have a voracious fire in our stomach where we have to have something more substantial than non-grains. And so this was an exception. And each Ekadashi has some particular karma kanda association with it to encourage the karma, the karmi section, those who are trying to get good karma and trying to minimize their bad karma. It's trying to encourage that section, to follow the Ekadashis. So Gurudev did not give any extra stress for the fact that it is Nirjal Ekadashi, the Ekadashi where Bhima was given some concession that if you don't take even water on this one Ekadashi, then the fact that you are not following the other Ekadashis will be absolved. But this wasn't that everybody is going to have that concession applied to them, and especially when they're not in that same situation as Bhima. So we must try to be sincere with everything in devotional life, and Ekadashi has been stressed by our masters, and we've personally seen Guru Maharaj and Gurudev stressing the importance of Ekadashi, and we want to follow the spirit of Ekadashi, as well as the actual following of not to take grains, at least not that. But I do say sometimes that there is a difference. We're always stressing that everywhere in the world where the Navadip style of Kirtan, Navadip routine of devotional life is being followed, means Navadip Chaitanya Saraswati Math, means Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. We always say, really it's like being in another room of Chaitanya Saraswati Math. But I can say quite consistently around the world, really there is at least one big difference from a room in Chaitanya Saraswati Math of Navadip and the rooms in Resegne and in London and Italy and Brazil, South Africa, and everywhere. And you're thinking, what difference? No, we're doing the same. No, you are taking much more opulent prasadam, and especially on Ekadashi. Everywhere we go, we see devotees making nice things, yes, for offering to the Lord. But Ekadashi in particular in Navadip was simple eating. They're cooking for the Lord. They're making nice things. And that is being honored the next day, or being distributed to the workers and people who are not following Ekadashi. But the actual devotees on Ekadashi do not get any breakfast. And I don't know anywhere in the world I've been where they've said, today's Ekadashi. No, we don't serve breakfast on Ekadashi. And so no breakfast, and then lunch and evening meal are both extremely simple. Watery sabji, leaking off the plate, fried potatoes, some peanuts, and the sweet is very watery sago with homeopathic content of milk, otherwise water. And sugar, to make it sweet. So very simple, very simple. So this is a difference between around the world, but the stress of Gurudev, and he knows what everyone's doing, is at least not to take grains, beans, lentils, etc. on Ekadashi. So you're doing fine. Each of you are doing fine, wherever you are in the world. Hare Krishna. Yukta Vairagya. This is Guru Maharaj. This is Gurudev. And we're joined from Brazil also, Leela Shakti Devi Rasi joining us from Brazil, happily. Govind, Govind. And in Indumati Didi and Braj Krishna Prabhu, they are with us here, also from Daugavpils. And Paramananda, nobody there looks like Paramananda. In a car, there is Paramananda. Jai. So from Thailand in the evening, Prabhu, Dandavad. So I think that at the Bangkok program, Paramanandru, would you or Aparajito, one of you, like to just give a little news report from Bangkok all the way to Latvia and share with us all?
Okay, Maharaj, we're asking Muktinath and Aparajita and Anthony to do that.
Dandavad Maharaj and everyone, so nice to see you all.
Dandavad devotees. We had a very nice program in the park, just beside the lake, and very happy to meet Paramananda Prabhu and Krishna Priya Didi, and already maybe not even couple of hours, maybe five hours. Yes. So we are really have a very nice time and very happy to see you now all join your program in Latvia. And
you report.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
And this is Anthony, correct?
Yes. Anthony.
Yes, Anthony, please share something from your newfound life with the devotees.
Oh wow, it's wonderful. We went over so many pastime stories. We did kirtan. We had prasada. It's been a wonderful day here today in Bangkok. And please, anyone, come here, and we'll love to have you and welcome you in Bangkok, Thailand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
They're big enthusiasts, I have to say. Enthusiasts of kirtan, enthusiasts of meeting and sharing. And it is very inspiring to be in their company.
Wonderful. You are giving us all inspiration. Not only you were in the park beside the river there in Bangkok, but those people who heard you there, you have given some life to them, but here all over the world, we are getting life to hear from your activities, your devotional activities today.
Dandavad.
And by the way, just to mention, we are in the Tirtha of Thailand. This is the park that was very much favored by Srila Govinda Maharaj during his visits to Thailand, which they didn't know about. But when we made an appointment, then I realized that this is the place.
Beautiful. What is the name of the park?
Shobis.
What's the name of the park?
Oh,
Chatuchak.
Chatuchak Park.
Chatuchak Park.
Chatuchak Park.
no, it's so
Yeah,
not
actually, Chatuchak Park. It's okay.
Yeah, and we had a special member joining. We just have a program and talking, singing, and there is a frog. It come on the top of the picture. These pictures, it was you.
During our kirtan.
Yeah.
Anyway, a world full of mysteries, Maharaj, and we don't know who is coming and what types of bodies and what is the reasons for them coming. So
Wonderful.
every moment.
Excuse me. Wonderful. We're very happy to be able to share that program. And we've all come to Suresh Krishna Prabhu's flat in Resegne, by the way. You think you're sitting in Bangkok, but actually we're all seated there in Resegne in the far east of Latvia. And we're drawn together by Sadhu Sangha, by Harikatar, and by the devotees' hearts. So very good that you're able to be attending too. Paramanandru, any tip for Latvia?
Well, I don't know, Maharaj. I can only say keep going. I was just saying to Muktinath Prabhu, Aparajita, Anthony, really, this is when we talk about Krishna, chant his names, being in the company of the devotees of Krishna. This is the moment we're actually living our lives. Everything in between is quite lifeless. So why stop living? That was my point. So I would say the same thing to Suresh Krishna Prabhu, but he already knows that. He's a very wise man. And I think this is what he's doing, and his activities and all the devotees who's been supporting his sharing of inspirations with others are also of a great inspiration for us. And we just joined, so we're not sure what subjects are being discussed. We heard something about the Ekadashis. And you're the person to talk about it, Maharaj. You know everything, how it was during the Guru Maharaj's time, during Srila Gurudev time. And really, and this is my message to everybody, if anyone wants to know what is Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat and the standards of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, the lifestyle of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, they must come and approach Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. He's got it all, he knows it all, he inherited it all, and it is his duty to share. And he's happily doing it.
We are trying to do it. And actually, we always try to reflect on what we're doing. Is it successful or not successful? And here we also have devotees from Brazil, as we mentioned before. Leela Shakti is with us here. And we were in Brazil recently, and at least I thought when we're coming away, at least we're able to demonstrate, to show what is the daily program, morning and evening, and the guidance throughout the day, as Gurudev and Guru Maharaj gave to us. So at least we're able to show this is a daily program. We're not using electrical electric pianos and bongo drums and many things, which you can say, oh, we can use everything in Krishna consciousness. Yes, maybe. But there is that song of Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And there he says, in that song too, when I hear the kind of kirtan ordained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I feel great joy. And so we feel great joy when we see and hear the kirtans which are taken place as ordained by Mahaprabhu and as given to us by Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. Because that is the kirtan ordained by Srila Saraswati Thakur. The types of songs we sing, the instruments that we use, the tunes do have some variants, no doubt, but as far as possible, keeping them within the tunes that were sung during the time of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj in the mat. And then the actual, the life, what we do, what is some structure for our morning, waking up, getting up, everything, how to eat, how to do everything, all was given direction by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And of course, how to do kirtan, how to chant, how to interact with devotees. So we hope that wherever we go, and here now we're going somewhere, we're in the rooms of you all. We say we're in Rezegne, but we're also in your homes in South Africa and in Ukraine, in Germany, here, there, and everywhere. And we want to be able to share what gifts, what standards our masters gave. So we are happily here to serve. And that's why I do ask devotees, please utilize me. I can't guess everything that needs to be said, but just as Suresh Krishna was mentioning about accidentally breaking the Ekadashi Paran, not observing Ekadashi at the right time, we can share things from the attitude of Gurudeva and Guru Maharaj. And this certainly is good for us to know their attitude, their behavior, how they dealt with all sorts of situations. And always with affection, always with care, and always with the highest ideal. And you'll see the Kirtan Guide, now we're on a full-time program with the Kirtan Guide. It's being fully revised with the help of our friends to make it consistent with the same transliteration, etc., as given in the established books of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc., so that the standardization is there. And but you see, what is in our Kirtan Guide is all pure devotion. There is no like karma kanda for sing this song and you'll be elevated to the higher planets, do this and this will happen, do that and that will happen. It is the kirtans of joyful glorification of the Supreme Lord in his manifestations, the Supreme Lord's manifestation, the glories of the Vaishnavas, the glories of devotional service, and the mood of the devotees. What mood do we sing in? That is being given to us by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Lochan Das Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, so many kirtans in the Kirtan Guide, which are there for our guidance too. But it's all about pure devotion, not putting a carrot in front of our nose for going to the heavenly planets and winning the lottery. This came up recently. Came up very recently. Came up this morning, by the way, in the conversation with the devotees. And how we do know some sweet devotees who are gently addicted to what's called lotto, where you gamble. You know that in Bangkok, right, in Thailand. Actually, this is about, I better not say the name of the place, otherwise devotees are going to say, oh, who is it? But we see many things which are a little addictive. And there are people who pay the astrologer to get the number of the lotto to win. And somehow or another, this idea that I will win something, I will get something if I do this prayer, that prayer, this yajna. This is attractive for material life, but it's unattractive for the devotees, because the devotees actually don't want anything except what the Lord gives readily. What the Lord gives readily will be satisfied with, but what the devotees want is the connection of service. The connection of service to the holy name, and the connection of service, physically, mentally, doing something which is helpful for the devotees.
Well, Maharaj, when you were speaking about a certain style and a particular set of, say, rules and regulations that is very, in a way it was set by our Guru Varga, so it is pleasing to our Guru Varga. We are to follow that. And it was set since really a long time, and that reminded me how Mahaprabhu meticulously arranged kirtan parties with a very particular number of karatal players, mridanga players. He would personally appoint a chief dancer who was qualified for that, and a chief singer who was also qualified. So very meticulous approach to that. And Mahaprabhu is not doing anything whimsically. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is not recording anything whimsically. Every movement, every action, every part of his lila is giving us some instructions, some teachings. So we are to keep that in mind. If they want us to follow, and even though we don't understand all the details, and our calculative mind would like to figure out why are we doing that, why are we... To some extent we can, But if we just keep in mind that it is pleasing to our Guru Varga, I think this is more than enough.
And actually, I would like to read, it's very short, don't worry, I'm not going to read a lot of things. But I would like to read just the translation of Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. Because this we sang, now that, was it yesterday or the day before? I've lost track. But anyway, when it was Ekadashi, we sang this. It was the day before yesterday. Okay, here it was the day before yesterday. And this is a traditional song to sing on Ekadashi days. But it is for us all to see that we can engage in devotional life with our families wherever we are, with our commitments in the world. And it's just the change of our vision, the change of how we look at everything around us. So as you know, it's a short bhajan. It's maybe 8 verses. Yes, 8 verses. So I'll just read slowly, and probably Hari Gopal Prabhu's got the Russian edition just nearby, but I'll read also slowly. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving us this kirtan, teaching us the mood of a devotee. So Shuddha Bhakata Charanarena. Dust, dust from the lotus feet of pure devotees is conducive to devotional service, while service to the Vaishnavas is itself the supreme perfection and the root of the tender creeper of divine love. Prema Lati Kara Mula. And then about Ekadashi, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying, I observe with great care the holy days like Ekadashi and Janmastami, for they are the mother of devotion. As my dwelling place, I choose with the greatest reverence and love the transcendental abode of Sri Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada readily points out that everywhere where the deity is worshipped, where there is glorification of the Lord, where there is Hari Kirtan, that is a holy place. So that is a transcendental abode of the Lord. So it's not that the whole world has to buy plane tickets and buy a plot of land in Vrindavan and think, okay, now I'm living in a holy place. Okay, number 3, verse 3. All those places where my Lord Gaurasundar traveled for pastimes, I will visit in the company of loving devotees. Beautiful. My mind always begs for the opportunity to hear the music of the mridanga. Upon hearing the kind of kirtan ordained by Lord Gaurachandra, my heart dances in ecstasy. And this verse I was referring to just now, because when we see Chaitanya Saraswatmat's style of kirtan taking place, a style that's been given by Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, really we are joyful. And it makes us very independent of whatever is our location. The physical location is one thing, but the feeling location, the heart location, wherever we are when this is taking place, then we are joyful. We are actually joyful. Then by beholding the deity forms of the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, I feel the greatest joy. By honoring the Lord's prasadam, I conquer over all worldly illusions. Goloka Vrindavan appears in my house whenever I see the worship and service of Lord Hari, the Supreme Lord, going on there. And upon seeing the Ganges, which is a river of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord, my happiness knows no bounds. Just 2 verses to go. The sight of the holy Tulasi tree, it says, but the Tulasi bush soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to Lord Krishna. And by honoring shak, spinach, a dear favorite of Lord Chaitanya, I consider life worthwhile. There you are. If you want a worthwhile life, then honor some prasadam shak. I mean, how beautiful is Krishna consciousness? And then the last verse, whatever Bhaktivinoda obtains that is conducive for the service of Sri Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest of joy. So there are some beautiful guidelines for us all. And Srila Guru Maharaj explained that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's teaching us what to pray for, what to want, how to think, how to behave. And taking that role, expressing the heart of a devotee, he's giving us these kirtans, these directions for our life. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, we have a question from Gunali Didi, St. Petersburg, in the chat box. But if we are living in the north and our sun rise is at night time, and this time we are sleeping, what to do in this situation?
Well, first of all, look at the particular calendar for, in your case, St. Petersburg, and then just see, I do not know what the calculations, what kind of times, if they're very ridiculous or not, the kind of times that are given there. But I can look.
But she is saying about north, if we are living in the north. No.
Right.
I am in St. Petersburg, but somewhere in the north, yes.
Yes, she lives in St. Petersburg. And then if you want to go to the far north, you've got Murmansk, where I don't think the sun actually goes below the horizon in the summer, and where the sun does not come above the horizon in the winter. So, some things we have to have time, place, and circumstance. But still, take a look. I don't know if there's a calendar for more monks. I can take a quick look on the temple, on the website. Hare Krishna. Anyway, time, place, and circumstance, it must apply. And when there is something very extraordinary, then we have to adapt and follow the essence of the Ekadashi. But you can say for most people, we're not living with the polar bears in the North Pole, and we're not living with the penguins in the South Pole. We're somewhere a little bit in between. And so for most of us, we do have some more or less reasonable timings. Ekadashi dates and Parang times. St. Petersburg must be here. Let me take a look. Oh, where's St. Petersburg? Oh, yes, with Saint, S-A-I-N-T, St. Petersburg. So, for instance, now is June. May, June. Haha, you got a point. And this is probably something close to the Resegne calculation. Between 3:40 and 4:42 a.m. in Resegne was the breakfast time. Oh, but that's okay. You're a devotee. You can get up and break fast before 4:42. Oh, they look all quite reasonable. I'm just scrolling down the list. But okay, I'm see if Murmansk is here. LMNO. No, I don't know what is the most northern place is listed, but Murmansk is not listed. And Tomsk, maybe, I do not know if Tomsk is further north than you or not. We can look up Tomsk out of inquisitiveness. June, June, between 4:32 and 8:42. Anyhow, as far as possible, follow the calendar. It doesn't look particularly unreasonable, but if we were to look in December, that may give us a different story. January, December. Oh, well, you can sleep in the winter, because here we've got breakfast after 9:31 and before 11:46, after 9:49, etc. for December and January. So that's for Tomsk. But if really you're with the penguins or with the polar bears, you'll have to make a little prayer to Ekadashi personified and say, well, it's going to be night for the next 2 months. Please allow me to break my fast before the next sunrise, which will be 2 months in the future. That we'll have to make some special thought. But as far as I know, no devotees are studying polar bears in the northern polar region. If you know of any, you can put them in touch with me. Hare Krishna. And in the chat box, I saw something also. Oh, Marie, she from USA. But this was earlier about the psychologists. I cite psychological concepts all the time in preaching. The sound practices addressing psychology and neurology is part of how I was able to identify Gaudiya Vaishnavism as a line of true religion. We are hardwired for spiritual pursuit. Our nervous systems are built for them. Sound psychology will always take into account that the search for connection with the divine and with each other is, as Evelyn Underwood calls it, a biological imperative. Okay. But we all know from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, really, the whole root of all of our problems here, all of our problems, is our aversion to the service of Sri Krishna, reality the beautiful. So at the end of the day, we need to try to introduce this clear understanding for the sincere souls. But still we know that there are psychological, diseases, just as there are physical diseases. And so sometimes some established assistance is given by the medical profession. But at the end of the day, the cause of our difficulties is our avoiding Krishna. So from wherever we are, consciously speaking or physically speaking, but I was thinking consciously speaking, we need to start to make our journey substantial. Be serious on our journey, serious and sincere on our search. And maybe we're not cured in this lifetime of our selfish disease and our this, that, and the other misconceptions, our putting ourselves at the center, our depression, whatever it may be. We may not be cured, but we're going in the right direction. when we are trying to wake up our consciousness of Krishna with love and affection, knowing that he is our all in all, and knowing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, through the Guru Parampara, they are distributing entrance tickets to that joyful land. So from wherever we are, we can come to aspire for that plane. And the more that we aspire, the more grace will come to us from those who can give that. And that's Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda, and Gauridas Prabhu joined us also from Ukraine, and Nazar joined us from Ukraine, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, now in not Ukraine, but Croatia, I think, you're traveling. And Kamala Sundari, maybe in the Italy ashram, maybe she's doing some seva in Nice, I don't know. But I'll find out soon. We're heading back to Italy on next Thursday. So next time we meet on this Zoom means in Suresh Krishna's home, we'll be speaking from Italy, all being well. And I hope I've greeted everyone. Juvati Devi Rasi, greeting you also here. And Bhagirati here in London, you joined us. Okay, I'm using the phone, so it's a little more difficult for me to see everybody. And we're happy that so many have come, drawn by the Latvians. They've arranged this Zoom, and we're happy to be invited to share what we can. And we try to do some good. We do want everyone to know what makes Gurudev and Guru Maharaj happy, and let's do that happily. Today we heard, because we often do, today, I know we're over time, but today we heard Gurudev in the temple room this morning, and before they do broadcast also each morning of the readings, but before the broadcast. And then we are listening to Srila Gurudev speaking, and Gurudev saying, how simple is Krishna consciousness? We need to associate with the devotees of the Lord. With the pure devotees, as far as possible, we must associate with the devotees of the Lord, because they know what pleases the Lord. And then Guru Maharaj and the devotees here, I stopped the record. I do keep stopping the recording just to make sure that they're catching the message. Otherwise, it's like chanting kirtans without the meaning, kind of miss. We hear the sound and everything, but we can miss the point. But Srila Gurudev gave an example. Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev gave an example. He said, if we are with Krishna, and Krishna says, I like fried potatoes, then if I make fried potatoes and offer them to Krishna, we know he'll be happy. So he said, this way, with the devotees, we can understand what Krishna likes and what the devotees like. And as we just heard in Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu, to please the devotees is actually the supreme goal. So when we know what the actual devotees like, when we know what Krishna likes, if we hear they like fried potatoes, we cook fried potatoes. How beautiful is Krishna consciousness? Very simple. We don't have to make it complicated. And Gurudev was speaking just very sweetly like this. And while he was speaking, and of course, he's got his particular accent, fried potatoes. So the devotees didn't catch what he said, but they heard the assembly around him laughing because, naturally Gurudev's got his transcendental humor. But this way, the unexpected things come out. You may not think, oh, Gurudev quoting from the scripture. Yes, quoting from the scripture, but he's also generating his own scripture, if you like, which is the words, the heart of the Vaishnava being transmitted. All right, and I know you all like fried potatoes. So if you like fried potatoes, there's a good chance Krishna does, and the devotees, Guru and Gauranga. All right, so on the fried potatoes note, Suresh Krishna Babu, we're crowding your living room. I better hand the microphone back to you. It's Latvia Zoom. We're happy to be with you all.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddharth Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Che Bhakti Dhan Sampada ki Jai. Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Jiv ki Jai. Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Shinitai Gauranga Jiv ki Jai. Guru Parampar ki Jai. Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Shavasta Kurt ki Jai. Jai Tulasi Maharani ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai. All devotees, assembled devotees ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Jai Gaura Pramananda Hari Hari Bol.
And Nadia Sundari Devidas is with us. I don't think I gave you a specific mention, but I must happily give you a mention that you're here with us too. And specific mention also to our dear Hari Gopal Prabhu for his hard work of translation on a Sunday morning. Well done, Prabhu. It really does help having this immediate translation. I do try to speak a little slower so you can keep up, but it is very helpful. It's and appreciated, I have to say. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Dandavat to each of you with all best wishes, and we'll meet again soon on Zoom. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj, Jai Srila Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari.
Jai.
Dandavat.
Dandavad, 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 дорогие преданные. Спасибо, Хари Гопал. Спасибо, как всегда, прекрасно. Харе Кришна. Dandavad.
Hari Hari. Sundar Krishna Prabhu, also with us. Please excuse, I'm on the phone, so I actually have a little difficulty. The bottom line always gets a little cut off. Sundar Krishna, happy to see you there in Germany too. Beautiful. Govinda, Govinda.
See you next Sunday. До следующего воскресенья.
Have a good week, everyone.
Dandavad, Dandavad.